The Garrison area is synonymous with two things: horse racing during the day and ladies of the night. We've been chatting with Shamelle Rice from Jabez House about the work that she's been doing to assist these ladies from getting off of the street and provide them with meaningful opportunities to make a valuable contribution to society. This is Positive Profiles, and I'm your host, Rashid Holder. Let's get back into that interview. Particular individual that sticks out, or any one particular instance that you said this is one of the most wholesome and positive things that I've seen happen during the time that you've been doing this?
Goodness, I'm trying to think of which story I could tell you because there are so many, but there is one that comes to mind. So I did have this client, and she had enrolled in the program. She was going so well, but she just disappeared. She just stopped coming. And for a couple of weeks, I could not find her, could not get through to her. When I finally did, I said, send me directions to your house. I really want to come and sit with you. No pressure, I just want to come and chat. And she agreed. She sent me directions to the house. I showed up. And she just brought along in the living room. She was just saying, I just so tired of this. I just tired of life. I don't want to bother with nothing anymore. I just feel like I just want to die and just give up. And I told her, you don't have to. And we just talked about what could be a simple game plan. How could you at least just hold on a little longer, just keep pushing a little bit more. And she agreed, and she started to come back out, after a bit to the classes, to the different sessions. And this one day she messaged me and said, Shamelle, I feel like God calling me, and I want to go to church. And I tell people, I'm a Christian, but Jabez House is not this Christian organization trying to convert women.
And obviously you don't force out any individual.
If you say you want to go to church, all right, go. But if you don't want to, it's fine. I neither here nor there for me. But this lady, she wanted to come to church, and she showed up on her own, everything. Long story short, she decides she's taking a completely different path. She doesn't know how her life is going to turn out, but she's done with the road. She's done with everything. She comes to the session on a Tuesday with a flyer in her hand. And she said, I see this nursing program that I want to do. I feel like this is we're gonna pursue. I told her, we don't offer nursing, but I could try to find out some information about it.
Facilitate.
And if it's something that maybe we could help fund or whatever, no problem. No sooner had I finished talking to her, I tell you this email pops up on my phone with someone who runs a nursing school saying, I saw your organization, whatever, and I want to offer one scholarship for a full year to one of your ladies. Literally, less than an hour. I start to freak out because I'm like, what is going on here? Anyway, I knew it had to be for her. I spoke to her afterwards. She was like, she signed on. She did the program for the entire year. Got, her certification, been working at a nursing home, doing all that stuff. And over time, she actually was able to migrate. And she now lives overseas in, one of the very big countries, working. She's settled. She has a family. I mean, when you look at her life, to whatever years ago, it's and there are so many stories of women who, doors open for them. Things happen once they said, I know something different can happen for me.
I know we often speak about, or you often hear people talk about, the power of God and the power of believing. And I mean, that's a very transformative story there. Hearing that, right, I'm sure that whoever watches this conversation that we have is empowered to, take control of their lives, because you can only help.
That's for sure.
If there's one thing I'm going to ask you to do, right, is just share what life is like for you outside of Jabez. What do you do for enjoyment? Because I'm sure that this obviously takes up a lot of time, takes up a lot of energy, and you being some person, as you say, that likes to give and be very wholehearted when you do so. how is life for you outside of that?
Well, I will be transparent and say that over the last few years, especially since I became a mom, I had to really work on having boundaries and setting up things to protect myself a bit more, because Jabez House, it enveloped so much of my life, because it's not just work. These are people, these are real lives. And I had to just stop doing a lot of things. One of the things that I do, and I tell people all the time, as a big part of my self-care, is therapy. Every single month, without fail. Like, whether I feel good or not, I go to my therapist, I sit there, because there's that element of vicarious trauma, because you're dealing with people all the time who
taking in a lot
are
of
just,
energy, stories.
yeah, it's difficult.
It plays on your mind.
I do that. I try to spend a lot of time with my family. I also have a paint studio where I do sip and paint, so that's
the fun part then.
That's it. Yeah, that's in additional. So I was an art teacher, and I actually quit my job as an art teacher to start Jabez House. And a couple years ago, a friend of mine said, Shamelle, I know that you love Jabez House, but art is also a very big part of you. And I feel as if you're sacrificing something that is still very meaningful for you because of Jabez House. And it was just a conversation where she challenged me to just explore something different. I didn't know it was going to grow into something else. But yeah, so I do sip and paint. So if you come to my paint studio, it's just vibes, it's just beer fun, beer sport, good music, people sipping wine. It's just
and I am sure, right, that you found a way for both elements, or at least those two elements of your life, to work hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're tying a lot of your passion. You're tying a lot of your passions and doing it in a very positive way.
Yes.
And as I said, I mean, the name of our series is Positive Profiles.
Yeah.
And I mean, how could we not speak about the work that you're doing, Shamelle?
Yes, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. You know? So can we get some tissue, please? But no, Shamelle, on a serious note, I mean, what you're doing, as I said, earlier, is what we consider to be yeoman service.
Thank you so much.
Highlighting all of what you have done over the course of the time that you started at Jabez, even, as I say, from school days. That's a lot. That's a whole lifetime there, So I just want to encourage you to continue to do the wonderful work that you're doing. It impacts people in a positive, but also a very meaningful way. So, Shamelle, thank you so much for joining us here on Positive Profiles. Definitely, a conversation which I enjoyed. We spoke about Jabez House, how that all started, the wonderful work that is being done to transform the lives of women and, the community at large. I'm your host, Rashid Holder, and this has been another episode of Positive Profiles.